I have heard a lot of people talking about nonviolent communication, and the ideas sounded good, but the people who talk about them are usually people who believe in chakras and manifesting stuff with the universe, things like that. So I had a hard time deciding if it was worth it to pursue this type of knowledge or not. But apparently, it's a very cool tool to make us communicate better with each other. So we are going to react to Marshall Rosenberg's an excerpt of one of his lectures where he talks about how to express needs. So here we go. Let's see what he has to say.
We never say that you make me feel or I feel because you. Instead, we are conscious that the root of feelings are needs.
Right from the start, this is a very powerful idea because if you ever had an argument with somebody, and I'm sure you have, you know that blaming a person for something will never get them on your side. So he starts right away talking about that. The other person does not have a responsibility on what we feel. It's very interesting. Let's see what else he has to say.
See, behind every feeling, there is a need. Now, certain feelings tell us that there is an obstruction in our thinking.
All right. What I like about CNV or the little that I know about it is that it's very formulaic, meaning you have a formula for things, so it's easier to use it as a structure to guide you. In this case, every feeling has a need behind it. So whenever feelings are, getting out of control, it's easy to remember that, okay, the problem is not the feeling, it's a need that is not being addressed. Let's see how to address it.
So what are these feelings that tell us that we're not directly connected to our needs? Anger, depression, guilt, and shame. Those feelings are very valuable. They tell us that at this moment I'm not directly connected to my needs. Instead, we are up in our head telling ourselves moralistic judgments.
All right, there's even a small list of needs, of emotions. So anger, guilt, shame. Forgot the other one, but like I said, it's very formulaic, so it's very easy. That's what you need when you're in, overtaken by emotion. It's easier if you have a structure and a small list of things to focus on, to get out of the mess, get out of the heat of the moment and focus on just a handful of things.
A distinction between needs and preferences or desires?
Yes, we make a big difference, as we'll see when we get to the next step now, because needs contain no reference to specific ways of getting the needs met. Those are preferences or strategies or requests. So we make a big difference between needs and between preferences, requests, strategies.
Yeah, very interesting. It's an easy way to find out if you have like a valid argument or a valid reason to be angry or depressed or shameful. Because yeah, if you don't have a way to get what you want, then you're left with a feeling. You're left with frustration.
So let's get into that. Let's right now connect our feelings with a need. Let's not go up to our head and think about the other person. Let's go into our heart and connect our feeling with our need, because needs give us the most power with people.
You see, when it starts to appeal to more emotional or intuitive people and less to rational people, when he says, let's go to our heart, I don't know what that means. I mean, I kind of know what it means, but I would rather, have lists and formulas and data and numbers. And when he says, go to your heart, I kind of understand, but it loses me a little bit. But at the same time, he attracts other types of people, probably the people that end up believing in chakras.
See, giraffe is based on a power model, power with people. It increases our power with them in the sense that it increases people's willing giving to us, to enjoy giving to us. That's power with people. We have been trained in.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Reminds me of how to win friends and influence people, because we don't get what we want from people by strong arming them or convincing them. We get what we want when they want what we want. You know, like he says, power with people. We we conquer people, we seduce people when they want to do that thing that we want them to do. They do it because of their own will, their own volition. That's true power. That's truly influencing others, and not, manipulation, strong arming, or you know, or like making threats, stuff like that. That's not real power. That's transactional.
A power over model, the use of punishment and reward. That's power over people. To get them to do things not because it's coming from their heart and they want to contribute to our well-being or to life. No, they want to avoid punishment or get a reward. So we want to increase power with people. And the most powerful form of communication to do that is to bring people's attention to our needs that are not getting met. When people's full attention is on our needs, they hear no.
Not sure about that. I mean, that can work for a significant other, family, friends. Maybe, maybe, because deep down, people don't care about other people's needs. They can understand it, they can act on it, but like I said, and like Marshall said, people have to want to do what we want them to do. That's real power with people. And people want to do stuff because of themselves. Like, we care first and foremost about our needs. Sometimes we can rationalize or we can strategize and make those needs align with other people's needs. But it's not reliable to expect other people to address your needs. Everybody is addressing their own needs. So I'm not sure. Let's see where he goes with this.
Criticism, no demands. It is natural to enjoy giving. But if we hear any criticism or demand,
Okay, now I understand what he meant. If you express your needs instead of blaming a person, of course you have a way better communication. You have a way better time getting what you want. And he makes the argument that people naturally like to give. And I think that is true for a lot of people, maybe most people. But again, people like to give because it gives them back a good feeling. So yeah, it's complicated. There's layers, because you make yourself, not an asshole by not blaming someone. You make yourself more pleasant to be with, to communicate with, and then the person will naturally give you more things, so they feel better because they like you. So you know how it's a two-way street. It's very interesting.
or demand, we lose connection with that natural desire to give, and now we want to defend and attack. So let's learn a language of needs. Under C, it says, imagine again that you are talking to the person and express your reasons for feeling as you do this way. When you do what I described, I feel as I expressed because I am needing or because I need. So now see if you can identify what need of yours is not getting met.
See what I talked about, having a formula. This is a very interesting way to communicate, because instead of just improvising as we always do, we have a formula to express the needs, the actions, and the feelings. So if I remember, is I feel something when you do other something, and that makes me feel something. You see how that is not blaming the other person, that is not a criticism. It's just a fact. When you do, I don't know, let's say I get angry when you don't do the dishes because I have a need for organization, let's say. It's something very simple, very basic. You see how that is much better than saying, oh, you never do the dishes, oh, you hate me, oh, you're disrespectful. You know, it's totally on another level. Now, I don't know if it works on the long run because it seems a little robotic. So maybe, like, probably like relationship with spouse or family, you know, it looks like a thing to communicate with people that you are in constant proximity with. So I don't know in the long run if it works because it's too formulaic, or if in the long run people will understand better how to communicate within that framework, but not exactly like that. And if both people are on board with this, it seems like a very powerful way to express needs and to make the other person understand your feelings. So I'm going to stop for now because this video is getting long. And I don't want, of course, I don't want to react to the whole video. Go check Marshall out. There's a bunch of videos of him on YouTube. And the verdict so far is he's a badass.